Hello, Cherries fans. Hope you're doing well. My name is Sam and welcome to Back of the Net. If you're new, I encourage you to press the subscribe button because there's a hell of a lot of AFC Bournemouth related content that's coming out in the next few days, which I'm absolutely certain you will love, including, not least, an interview with Jason Tindall. We've also got Kevin Bond, our notorious free-for-alls as well, plus a pod with Jeff Hayward, amongst many other things. We've got the Funnell Forecast, Super Six besides. And, of course, the opposition preview is happening now. If you haven't seen one of our videos already, Craig Beazley has chatted to Royals legend A.D. Williams, and he now presents on BBC Radio Berkshire. And he's a great guy with a lot of knowledge about Reading. But what about Bournemouth? Well, we need to decide who's going to be playing and who's not. But let's bring in Craig Beazley now for a general chat. Craig, how are you, sir?
Yeah, very well. Thanks, Sam. How about yourself?
Good. International break. Fan of it?
Oh, it's been a struggle. The game last night was good. Mount played very, very well. But watching England can be.
It's a frustrating experience, isn't it? And Grealish has been a positive point, and we almost need to mould the team around him because he just looks like a class act. I'm still surprised he's still at a team like Villa, and that sounds really condescending towards Villa. But there are better teams in the Premier League, and I'm sure at some point someone is going to snap him up. But international duty can sometimes be a nightmare for getting players injured. Now, we've got no England players involved in that setup. But in terms of Wales, of course, we've got Brooks, we've got Chris Mepham, we've got players like Jefferson Lerma out on international duty. And it's always a fear, isn't it?
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. With regards to Lerma, he's travelled over to South America, had a couple of games over there. So there's been a lot of travelling, a lot of jet lag. Not sure when he got back to the UK. So, yeah, it does raise some doubts, and that is the big concern ahead of this weekend's game.
It is, and he was blooded against Watford in that game. He obviously did his hammy or like slight strain or whatever. So Jason Tindall, I'm sure, is going to be aware of that, and maybe, just maybe, Tom Jordan asks him questions which allude to that on the show that's going to be on Sunday night with the manager of AFC Bournemouth, Jason Tindall. But yeah, the Royals then. You've got connections with Reading, haven't you? And if you haven't watched the video with A.D. Williams, click the card at the top of the screen because you can watch that excellent interview that Craig had with him. But, tell us a little bit about your history with Reading FC, mate.
Yeah, so I grew up in a village in Reading called Tarlhurst back in 1985. So when I was growing up, there was a lot of people that supported other teams, Premier League teams, but I was instantly inducted into my local team, which of course at the time was Reading. I used to go to the old Elm Park with my granddad, and I don't know if you've ever went there, Sam, but it was a bit of a state.
No, I didn't go to Elm Park. I've been to the jet ski a couple of times. In those 3-3 games that you said. I remember one, and it was Mark Steve. I mean, we had a couple of 3-3 there, and one of them was I think I remember the date. It was the 8th of November, 1999. I might have to look back because at the time I ran a website called Boscombe on the web, and we launched it on the Friday, which was the 7th of November. If I'm right, I feel like Rain Man, getting that correct. So, and Mark Steen popped up in the last minute and scored an equaliser to make it 3-3, and I've never heard so many fans singing in unison all at the same time, because you went when you've got 3,000 fans in the it's been like that at St Mary's. You're taking a number of thousands of people there, and sometimes you're not all quite singing at the same time, but at the end everyone was singing "You're Not Singing Anymore," and everyone was doing it right on time, and we sounded so loud. Obviously we've had our ding dongs with Reading, and we're in the same division this year, and bloody hell. I mean, their start, no one expected it. We chatted on the press pass with Daniel Story and me and Jeff earlier before the season started, and he said, you know what, they're my tip to go down. But, you know, judging by their first like 7 or 8 games, I mean, bloody hell, relentless. But, and they've had this bad run. And you were saying with AD Williams, could there be a backlash? And I'm sure this is something that JT is going to be aware of, isn't he?
Yeah, most definitely. And I think with Reading, I can understand why Daniel Story said that, because the past couple of seasons they've been very, very poor. Also, they've had a lot of changes in managers. So there was a bloke called Jose Gomez.
Oh yeah,
and he seemed to get the fans on side. According to my dad and my brothers, he seemed to get them on side. And then all of a sudden, there was a guy there called Mark Bowen, who was director of football.
Oh yeah.
And they got rid of Jose Gomez. So I think it was from what Reading fans have said, it was Mark Bowen's decision, and then he kind of put himself in charge. Also, when Mark Bowen left, just from reading Twitter, they didn't have anything about Mark Bowen leaving. So normally when a manager leaves, you get thank you for, you know, the time. Of course,
just nothing.
There was nothing, absolutely nothing. So it's a very, very strange situation, what's happened there. But they have started very well. And, you know, I didn't expect it. I don't think anybody in the Championship expected it. But they have lost 3 games. And as we did mention with AD Williams, they are very clinical. So they've had 2 shots. They scored 2 goals. Can that last the season? I don't think so. So
it's good. It's going to be an interesting game, and obviously our focus is on AFC Bournemouth. If you want to find out the Reading slant, do watch that video. I'll put the link in the description as well below. But obviously, we're keen on knowing how Bournemouth are going to line up. So later in this video, we're going to be chatting to Tony Funnell and getting his Super 6 prediction, and also his prediction on the Reading result at the weekend as well. But Craig, I think it's time now to do the honours, and we'll do our chosen 11. And as you can see, it's defaulted to 4-4-2, but you know, the formation that we played against Birmingham, he sort of went with 4 at the back. I think, you know, Cook's suspension probably forced his hand a little bit with that.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to be a repeat? Because he seems to love his 3, but then would you change your winning formula?
Personally, I wouldn't. No. However, it has worked for us in previous games. The only time it hasn't really worked was against Sheffield Wednesday, which was an atrocious performance across the board. So it's difficult to know what JT will do, but based on previous game, he might go with the 4-4-2. And I think there would be 1 or 2 changes.
Yeah, I think so as well. So, I mean, it was a 4-4-2, but it almost became a 4-2-3-1. And you know what? You know, the goalkeeper, there's no doubt. I think, you know, like Asmir Begovic, you know, we know what he's done. And then, you know, Steve Cook's going to be back. Chris Mepham's had a lot of international football with Wales. And we've said on previous shows that if there is going to be someone that's going to drop out and they're going to keep the 4, it's probably going to be Chris Mepham. Therefore, it could be, I mean, I know that Lloyd Kelly's been involved with the under-21s, but I think it's probably going to be Kelly and Cook centre-backs. Would you agree if they go with that 4?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Cookie's got to start. He is the captain after all. And up until, to be fair, against Sheffield Wednesday, he played pretty well anyway. He did well. So I think he's got to come straight back into the squad. Kelly did do brilliantly against Wednesday, but at the same time, he's shown what he's all about. So I would go with Kelly and Cook at the back.
Yeah, I agree. Now, I think Jack Stacey is proving his worth out there on the right hand side. He provides that attacking influence as well. And then you could go Adam Smith, but for his deliveries, I think which are getting slightly better. It's looking like Rico. Would you say that those are probably the wide choices?
Yeah, I think so. And I think Stacey can hurt Reading down that wing. So if need be, we can push up a little bit further and Stacey can go forward. So I think Stacey can hurt Reading, especially.
So with Lerma on international duty, whether he's going to get played or not, I'm not particularly sure. But one player that's surely going to be straight in there's Lewis Cook, isn't he?
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. He's looking good. He is looking back to his best. Yeah, I think there's no reason why Lewis Cook wouldn't start. With regards to Lerma, though, because of the travelling, I think that's where the big question mark is.
So who are you expecting to fill in?
I would go with Dan Gosling, but have Lerma on the bench just in case. And I think Lerma for 20 minutes, half an hour, will be fine to play against Reading. He could also be the game changer that we need.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so up front then, I mean, yeah, if it is a 4-2-3-1, we've got, these attacking sort of combinations that we've got. And Birmingham City, I think it was, that first goal that we scored was an absolute thing of beauty, the way that Lerma combined with, Brooks, Stanislas, Dan Juma. It was an absolutely phenomenal goal. I think, and all those are probably going to be in with Dom, would you say?
Yeah, I think Dom brings a lot to the team. Like we've said on so many videos, he's not going to be our 20-goal season striker, but he does hold the ball up, create so much. And against a team like Reading, which is a bit suspect at the back, they've conceded 9 goals and only scored 2 in the last 3 games. He's going to be given a bit of time to pick out those passes. And I can't see Danjuma not scoring.
No, well, and he's always got that sort of customary thing that he does, running down the left flank and cutting in on his right foot. So, this is what we've got then for our team. And, I'd be more than happy to be starting with this. And I just think that Solanke's a much better link player. When Josh King was in there, it's almost like you had a number of individuals up front, whereas, Dom Solanke's happy to come deep and you pick up the ball. And he was exceptional, I thought, against Birmingham City. Unlucky not to score. It cannoned off the post. And, of course, that set up David Brooks. But with that, I would be fairly happy with things. Can I ask you, Craig, at this point for a prediction?
Yeah, I think if we play against, like we did against Birmingham, I think we'll win without a shadow of a doubt. I think if the Sheffield Wednesday performance comes back out, then Reading could hurt us. But then again, Sheffield Wednesday really only had one opportunity to win that game, and that was the penalty. They didn't really have that many shots on target. And like we said, Reading don't have many attempts, but when they do, they're quite clinical.
Yeah, and that's what we've missed, isn't it? Because bloody hell, the amount of shots that we have, our conversion rate's piss poor compared to theirs. However, I've just got this feeling that we're going to come good soon. Maybe not against Reading, but I've just got a feeling that it's coming soon where we could smash a team. I just got a feeling it's just around the corner.
Yeah, I do as well. And I think Reading will be a test. I think it will be a real test, especially if they've got the likes of Moore back. If they've not got Moore at the back, if he's still out, then we could put quite a few past them. If he is back in the squad, because he seems to pull that defence together, I think I'm going for a 2-1 win.
2-1. All right. Well, I'm going for a 3-1. I'm going to go for a 3-1. It's Craig. Thank you very much for coming on.
No problem at all, Sam. Pleasure as always.
Thank you very much. And yeah, do remember to check out Craig's video. So on to the Super Six. What do we think that Tony Funnell has got to say? I'm pleased to bring in Tony now. Tony, how are you?
Yeah, I'm well. Yeah, ready to pick me selections.
Good. Are you a big fan of international weekend or these 2-week breaks, or not really?
Definitely not. I think I say the players play far too many games.
Yeah. Especially now, there was three matches that England, Wales, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? But
I think it's all like, it helps the FA and it helps UEFA. That's all it does.
No,
I think they should, reduce the amount of games that the players have to play.
No, I completely agree.
The games they play, pointless games. If they want to play a friendly against a lowly ranked side, fair enough. But they've got all these teams in these competitions. You're thinking, well, those games are a waste of time.
Yeah, but thankfully we're not predicting those ones. But once again, on Back of the Net, it's time for the Super Six on this week's Funnell Forecast.
And the cross by Heffernan, and was that a foul? It's a goal anyway from Funnell.
And I tell you what, Tony, I'm looking forward to seeing what the league table brings, because I personally had a couple of good weeks, and in the last one, that was the round where we had to do like League One teams and League Two, and I had a nightmare because even though you look at the form stats, I just didn't have a clue. How did you do last week?
I didn't do too bad, but I must admit there was a couple of games I thought that's impossible to predict that. If you'd really studied it, you wouldn't have gone that way.
No, exactly. I was really stumped, but there were some people that weren't stumped. Mr. Tiggs is away on interview duty today, so it's me doing the honours, but he has sent in the latest top 5. Looking forward to seeing this.
Racing in at 5th is a new entry, Damien Hill. Still sitting Purdy in 4th. It's our only non-mover of the week, Andrew Purdy. Watch out, she's climbing back up and she means business. It's Naomi Jenkins. He's dropped a spot, but it's still very tight at the top. It's last week's number 1, Nigel Little. And we have a new leader of the pack. And the only player in the top 5 to score double figures this week, Colin Stevenson. And there we have it, that's our top 5 for the week. Interesting to note though that none of these 5 players make our top 10 for this month so far. So there's everything to play for, and a couple of good weeks, it could be you at the top.
So there we are. That's the league table. We've got Colin Stevenson, who's at top. I know him through Twitter. Naomi Jenkins. She's. I don't think she's been outside of the top 5. We got Damien Hill in there, and a number of people. And there you are, Tony. You are in the magical spot of 36. So you're not doing too badly.
I'm getting up there slowly but surely.
You are, given the fact that there are 180 odd people in this league, you're doing well, and especially after match week 11 or 12 or whatever it is, there is a long way to go, but you must be pleased with that.
I am, yeah. And what we just heard, Mr. Tiggs, I think you might lose him soon to the radio.
I know.
He's got a natural voice for the radio. He's playing 50s and 60s records.
He sounds like Bruno Brooks, doesn't he? And he's actually away today because he's on interview duty. He's actually interviewing Kevin Bond, and that's going to be a video that's coming up later on this channel. So do subscribe if you haven't seen that, and maybe you'll be alluding to that particular gentleman later on in a video as well. We will find out. But this week it's all about the Funnell Forecast and the Super Six, and thankfully we're back to the Premier League. It's round 14, and we're going to kick off with the first fixture, Tony. And this week it's a 3 o'clock kickoff, as they usually are on a Saturday, and it's Aston Villa versus Brighton, Tony.
Yeah, I'm going for a home win to Aston Villa, 2-0.
2-0. Yeah, I think probably agree with that actually, because their form's pretty decent, and also Jack Grealish as well. His form for England in the, I didn't watch too intently because international football doesn't really kind of wet my whistle that much, but Jack Grealish did play very well, so he'll be full of confidence in that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Middlesbrough versus Norwich into the Championship then.
Yeah, Middlesbrough don't give a lot away. I'm going for a away victory though, 1-0 to Norwich.
1-0 to Norwich. Okay, brilliant stuff. Next, Barnsley versus Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, home win for Barnsley, 2-0.
2-0. That's a bold prediction, like it. And Derby County, they're travelling to Bristol City.
Yeah, I'm not sure on this one. I did plug for a Bristol City 2-1, but I've changed my mind to 1-1.
Well, you know what? That's not a bad shout, because isn't it Wayne Rooney who's going to be in charge there, albeit maybe temporarily? The manager's gone, and there's always that new manager bounce. So I think you're probably right in calling a draw. I might be following suit in that, actually, to be fair. Millwall, they're entertaining Cardiff.
Yeah, I'm going for 2-1 Millwall.
2-1 to Millwall, yeah. That's actually what they're christening as the Neil Harris Derby, because he's currently in charge at Cardiff, but of course, synonymous with Millwall as well.
That's
so
right,
it's going to be tasty. Preston North End home to Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure on this game, but I'm going to go for a 1-0 victory for Preston North End.
And it'll be interesting to see what happens in that, because we played Sheffield Wednesday recently and we'll be entertaining Preston pretty soon as well. So there we go. Those are Tony's predictions there. What do you think at home? There's a review of all he's gone for. But, of course, it's being done through Super 6. So there is the chance, Tony, to win $250,000. And you may need your golden goal for that. So out of those 6, when do you think it's going to be scored first?
Yeah, my golden goal is going to be 7 minutes, I'm going.
7 minutes, and we'll go head to head with Jeff as well, which I think can win you some brownie points if you beat him and then get picked out of the prize draw. And then we're going to submit our entry there. So there we go. We are all done. Your Super Sixes in. Let's just talk quickly about AFC Bournemouth, because they are playing Reading, which, Reading are top of the league. They had a brilliant start, but they've dropped off a little bit. This match is going to be live on Sky, so there's no AFCB TV to worry about. It's a 12:30 kickoff, and even our next fixture after that is live on Sky as well against Nottingham Forest. So we've got 2 matches in a row, but it's going to be a difficult game against Reading, is it? Because a team that have lost a few games in a row like they have, there may be a bit of a backlash from them.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that game. I think it'll be a good game, end to end.
Yeah,
I think both teams will score, but with Bournemouth coming out with a victory.
Can I put a scoreline on it?
I'd love, 3-1 Bournemouth.
And that's what I said, 3-1.
Oh, really?
I completely agree with that. So, Tony, fantastic to have you on the Funnell Forecast Super 6 once again.
Lovely. See you later.
See you later on. And let us know what your predictions are as well. Thank you to Craig earlier on in the video for the preview. Yeah, and enjoy the game this weekend. It's live on Sky. And of course, we're going to be on the free-for-all straight afterwards. So do subscribe and check out the raw opinions of Cherries fans at full time. We'll see you then.